Hello and welcome to let's take a look at the mailbag. Every year I get a little bit more self-conscious about this jumper because I've had it since 2016 and I love it, but you know, that is 8 years, but I've only worn it for an hour or two every year, so you know, that's like in total about 16 hours. I haven't even worn it a full day basically, so one wash and it's good for another decade, right? Oh wow, a beautiful watercolour beef and mint jelly. Why, it looks good enough to eat. Oh, this is very cute, but it also raises a good question. Are Marguerite Patton dishes more or less appealing than a plate of blue slurry? Thank you, Gavin. Now this is both wonderful and sad. I also hate that Smee have blocked the Sonic Curry video. I mean, that's one of the good ones, and Lord knows there's not too many of those. It's great to see Macintosh getting fan art already, and why wouldn't he? The story of Macintosh and the successful unearthing of photographic evidence of this beast of burden was one of the year's highlights. Whoa, I can't believe someone would just send me an image worth $10 million just like that. I think I'll use the money to buy a Porg mug. I feel you, man. Oh yes, do it! Yes! Go, 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 go! Yes! This is pretty much how me and Sean do go on. Look at these guys. I tell you, the consistent love shown to Eamon August Donal over all these years has been amazing. How many years has that been? Anyway, like those videos were a while ago. Let me just check how long ago that was. Oh.
2021 in review.
Ew! 2020 is gone and everything is good again. Or maybe we've just become numb to the crapness. Here's to feeling nothing at all in 2022.
January.
Anyone who was optimistic about 2021 immediately took into a big plate of crow as they watched Capitol Hill being stormed by unsatisfied customers. Maybe stormed is too strong a word, but it was definitely a shower. 5 people die after slipping on banana skins or being hit by custard pies. Paramedics later confirmed that all 5 victims died farting. And somehow it only takes 2 weeks before something even worse happens. Jimmy Kimmel tweets this embarrassing horror show and everyone agrees to simply never mention American politics again, even in America. Saudi Arabia announced The Line, a brand new city that will be built in a line. The estimated building cost is $200 billion, which is a small price to pay for the pleasure of giving every single direction as that way or the other way. The GameStop short squeeze has countless people trying to learn how the stock exchange works in the simplest terms possible before throwing whatever money they can into a giant imaginary hat just to stick it to some millionaires. Of course, some other millionaires come out the other end with a lot more money, and within a month, 3 films, 1 limited run series and a documentary about the event is announced. The real winners? Those Tinseltown crooks.
Zero. Starting life in another world. The prophecy of the throne.
I don't even know what this is, but I just want my new announcer to hit the ground running.
The Watch.
I probably enjoyed this more than most people did. And I thought it was shite.
February.
Nuns travel from Cork to Dublin in order to take part in an exorcism at the Dáil. The exorcism is followed by a mass where the leader of an unofficial splinter group of the Catholic Church tells the congregation that they should be prepared to die for God. Honestly, some people just fall to pieces as soon as the Vatican cut off their frankincense supply. Get over it, mate.
One of the debates that has been dividing the nation this week, perhaps even more divisive than Brexit has been over the years, is whether having Weetabix with baked beans is an attractive serving suggestion for a healthy meal. Now, we all need a little light relief in these difficult times, so may we have a debate on breakfast cereals and their contribution to a healthy diet, so that we can all arrive at the shared position that with whatever it is served, Weetabix is a great British breakfast cereal, fully worthy of promotion.
Milk.
Mr. Speaker, as they used to say, Weetabix are on Beatabix. My personal preference, if I were to eat Weetabix, is not with baked beans, which I've always thought absolutely disgusting. There was an advert. Well, I'm sorry if I've upset the makers of baked beans, but there was a saying, which is desperately politically incorrect nowadays, so I hope the right honourable lady will forgive me. It was their advertising slogan: 1 million housewives every day pick up a can of beans and say, Heinz means beans. But when I was a child, this was corrupted to 1 million housewives every day pick up a can of beans and say, yuck, throw them away. And I'm sorry, that has always been my view of baked beans. But Weetabix is absolutely splendid, served with hot milk and brown sugar. Though for preference for breakfast, Mr. Speaker, you will know what I like. It's Nanny's homemade marmalade on toast.
I think the good people of Wigan will be...
The Mars rover Perseverance lands successfully on the planet's surface. The mission was only made possible thanks to sales of NASA logo t-shirts and hoodies. The scientists would be the first to admit it. The consumers are the real stars. Google Stadia is fucking dead! Oh, sorry. Google Stadia is scaling back. Yeah, into a fucking grave.
Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury.
I loved playing through this again with Richie, Gavin and Sean, and it was great that we all got to learn the tale of Macintosh the Cinema Cat together. By the way, Richie bailed the second we got to the Star World. Yeah, I know. Bowser's Fury has me looking forward to the next 3D Mario game. I'm telling you folks, the Pratt era of Mario is gonna be the best one.
He's so cool. Mario will be talking a lot in the movie.
March.
200,000 tons of ship turns sideways in a canal and holds up over 350 honking boats and almost $10 billion worth of trade, while the captain says, just give me a minute, once an hour for several days. Some fear the ship will take years to dislodge and any food on board will have expired before it arrives at its destination. But Westminster MPs assure the public that there's nothing to worry about.
I'm sure one of the main problems is that the sell-by dates on products are far, far too cautious. And I remember once eating a biscuit which was 20 years old and it was perfectly edible.
Automatic hands-free sperm extraction machines are unveiled in China. Unfortunately, a donor becomes trapped in one of the machines and onlookers describe the scene as exactly like that bit in Alien Resurrection. Avatar becomes the highest grossing film of all time again thanks to a re-release in China. Well, I guess you need something to watch while a robotic rubber pipe wrings all the sex snot out of you. Brexit bedlam leaves a bunch of trucks stuck in customs, which means 500 Papa Roach vinyls aren't getting into the sweaty palms they're meant to be in. Sorry, I gotta say it. Why is the sleeve designed like it's some record that's been doing the car boot sale rotation since 1974 when it's a greatest hits 2010 to 2020? Nothing but respect for Papa Roach, obviously, but that's fucking stupid. Do better. For the second year in a row, the St. Patrick's Day parade is cancelled. But in lieu of a giant papier-mâché sun with a face, we get a drone light show where Ireland announces plans for world domination. I hope they like Shamrock Shakes in Russia, because we're coming.
Monster Hunter Rise.
This is the first Monster Hunter game I've played for more than 10 minutes, and I completely fell in love with it. I played with a team of well-seasoned gamers, so it was a bit like having 3 Peter Parkers whipping effortlessly around while I sat there like a sack of cement that had been left out in the sun too long. But I still had a great time.
Disco Elysium, the final cut.
I don't have it. Why do I always insist on doing this in one sitting? I don't have a top 10 favourite games list, but if I did, I wouldn't hesitate to say that Disco Elysium shoved its way right into the middle of it this year. I already want to replay it. Or, no, hang on. Oh, forget it. Let's just huff a can of Lynx Africa.
Love, live, school idol festival, after school activity YY, home meeting.
Okay, I'm convinced. She's got the job.
April,
The president of Turkmenistan goes for an impromptu bike ride and is pleasantly surprised to find himself applauded by people who come out to cheer him on simply because they wanted to. Scientists announce they've successfully injected human stem cells into the embryos of monkeys, creating chimera embryos. Lockdown must have hit these scientists hard. You don't have to create chimeras, you know. Just do a jigsaw puzzle. The worldwide death toll of COVID-19 passes the 3 million mark. No, say. Have we got anything else? Oh, thanks. An Easter egg which was too nice to open has stayed untouched at the back of a fridge for the last 43 years in a County Louth house. Yeah, that's more like it.
Tory 3D.
Look at this guy. You're gonna tell me you don't like Tory 3D? Come on, what's wrong with you? Why are you like this? I've been meaning to ask for a while actually. What is your problem?
May.
Eurovision returns and the UK receives 0 points from the judges and the public. This is briefly considered to be the highlight of the year, but then this guy went cycling with a big giant fan on his back. Hamas fires 3 water balloons of tit and the IDF respond with 40 megatons of tat. In lighter border news, a farmer accidentally makes Belgium 7 feet larger by moving a stone. Not unlike the situation on the Irish border where the amount of land belonging to the British fluctuates as a Supermax in Donegal is pushed back and forth.
Tiger Trio's Tasty Travels.
Aw, look at these adorable little critters in their sushi van. Isn't it nice that teeny tiny babies get video games too? Okay, listen, it was too difficult. I did a load of the puzzles and then I hit a wall and I can't finish it and I'm really embarrassed.
Oh, Burnham. Inside.
Fucking shut up.
Free fries when you get vaccinated? You're saying I could get this? These delicious fries? Wait a minute. But there's also a burger element to this? Too early in the day to eat a burger? No. This could be breakfast? I'm getting a very good feeling.
June.
England's Piñata of Hope is smashed by Italy in the UEFA Euro finals, releasing a global bounty of good vibes in cannoli. The loss is the most watched event on UK television since the funeral of Princess Diana.
Luca.
Pixar dares to ask the question, what if a gay parable was gay?
Godzilla vs. Kong.
Legendary Films dare to ask the question, what if a gay parable was... Sorry, I have my notes mixed up. Oh, here we go. Big Monkey Good.
Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, the movie.
If you like your characters standing around and saying lots of things, then you'll love this. Lacks the fun Usagi from the original anime, but retains the animal smooching and incest elements. Frankly, the loyalty to the original source material is to its detriment, but we do get cats using computers, so hey.
Mario Golf, Super Rush.
You'll be in a super rush to return this game to the shop. Okay, hold on a second here. I just want a quick word. This was shite. Yes, it plays a halfway decent bit of golf, but it really feels like they got the gameplay down and then had a week to do everything else. Super Rush is lucky we've got a year of stuff to get through, or I would be giving it a for a straight 45 minutes. Terrible. My most regretful full price purchase that I can remember. Anyway, I won't go on about it. What happened in July? Is it July?
July.
July was the month of billionaires flying into space just as the ocean bursts into flames. Enjoy it, guys. Remember, they can only afford to do this because you keep buying gifts for your friends and family. If only you loved them less, this wouldn't happen. After massively declining sales caused by a massively terrible product, Subway announces a relaunch. $500 million will be spent on a Twitter account that shares depression memes, and $25 will be spent on improving the menu. Here's an idea you can have for free. Bread made out of bread. A newly launched social media site which staunchly supports free speech begins banning users for posting Sonic pornography. Few realise that all the Sonic pornography that has been created over the past 30 years was actually stockpiling for the great freedom of speech wars of 2021. And all this time you thought it was because Sonic characters are so fucking sexy. Look at you!
Space Jam, a new legacy.
I know it's Space Jam 2, so my expectations weren't exactly high, but my god, this really was dreadful. The silver lining is my cat likes to play with this little Space Jam ball, and she didn't look twice at the Shawshank Redemption toys I got her, so no accounting for taste, huh?
Owen, can this video be in the Christmas special, please?
August.
Scientists grow some little brains in dishes, and the little brains grow little eyes. The little brains then crawl out of their dishes and immediately take to Twitter to defend the MCU from Martin Scorsese. In Teesside, a mum is left crying and shaking by the speed of an Aldi cashier who scanned the food fast enough for it to pile up and fall to the floor like a slot machine. And there is no spin I can put on this story to make it funnier than it already is.
Evangelion 3.0 and 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time.
In my video about Evangelion, I said I wouldn't talk about the rebuild films until it got 50,000 views, so keep walking, buddy. And please don't assume I'm only saying that because I still don't know what to say about this. I do, and it's really interesting. Hello.
Star Trek Lower Decks.
I'm so glad that I stuck with Lower Decks after that first episode. What a treat to just get episodes. Remember episodes? Tell me stories in 25 minutes. Thank you. I know the writers of Lower Decks appreciate a deep cut reference, so please slip in a reference to Bruce Hill Racing. Real ones will know.
September.
A singing contest featuring digital avatars has judges will.i.am and Grimes saying, "This is crazy right here," to a glass box with a Fortnite character inside. At the end of every round, the real-life singer steps out and everyone pretends to have learned something about something. Graham Linehan says the words "sunk cost fallacy" while appearing on GB News. Meanwhile, in France, riots break out over a disagreement on where the next riots should be held.
Deltarune, Chapter 2.
I still don't feel particularly invested in this story, but I enjoyed it, laughed quite a few times, and did grab the banana, so Toby Fox has me by the short hairs. If he releases another chapter, I will drop everything and play it immediately. Did you know the phrase "by the short hairs" is referencing the hairs on the back of your neck and not your pubic hair? I know, learning things is crap.
Squid Game.
Everyone is talking about Squid Game. Oh, okay. Is it any good? Everyone is talking about Squid Game. Yeah, but is it actually good, or... Children are playing nefarious Asian Squid Game in British schoolyards. What? What are you getting at exactly? Squid Game is poorly subtitled. Oh, that's a shame. Would you still recommend it? Everyone is talking about Squid Game. What's happening here? Squid Game.
October.
Likeable human man Mark Zuckerberg showcases the metaverse. Within the next 5 to 10 years, rock stars will be able to shag underage groupies at the backstage after-party from the comfort of their own homes. Officer, I swear I had no idea. She was a giant robot at the time. Britain wakes up to yet more good news.
This is untreated sewage being released into Langston Harbour in Hampshire. The pipe, known as an outfall, is 7 foot wide. The footage was shot last Thursday. The sewage poured out of it for 49 hours straight.
Gosh, it's enough to turn you off Nanny's homemade marmalade on toast.
Venom. Let there be carnage.
I have lost my mind. I have gone all in on the Venom films. I watched Venom 1 3 times this year. These rapid-fire 90-minute slices of daftness have completely endeared themselves to me. Keep Venom out of the MCU and let Sony continue to make these on the sidelines. I could watch a no-stakes road trip movie with Eddie, Anne and Venom, no problem. Imagine they went camping. Eddie, these are the wrong tent poles, you nitwit, you fucking butthead.
Mario Party superstars.
Mario is back and he's throwing a party for all his friends. Let's hope these games don't turn out to be like those Squid Games because they were horrible. Squid Game wasn't great. It was all right.
June, not Dune.
For better, for worse, it's Dune. Fingers crossed part 2 is complete tonal whiplash with Duncan Idaho kicking a door down and saying, "Did somebody order an exterminator?" and punching a sandworm.
Succession.
It's nice to watch a show that's actually good instead of sitting there for an hour going, "Is this good? Do I know what's happening in this?"
November.
I still haven't gotten Funny Girl out of that video player, but I did get another video player for €10 that rattled a lot, so I opened it up and found a Meteor SIM card, a 32 meg PSP memory card, and a jigsaw puzzle piece. You might be wondering what's on that PSP memory card. I certainly did, which is why I dug out my PSP, charged it, and inserted the memory card. Now let's stop for a moment here. I want you to think about this. What would you find on a 32 megabyte PSP memory card that had been trapped inside a dusty VHS player for at least a decade? What did I find? What did I find? Oh, sorry, time for me to give out Christmas donations to the orphans. I hope they need a SIM card. An armoured truck in California spills a load of cash on the motorway. Traffic comes to a complete standstill as motorists begin scooping up bills. The lucky ones gather up enough to pay off their own bail.
Kid Amnesia or Kid Amnesia exhibition.
I was really impressed by this, particularly how real the locations felt despite being so abstract. I also like that we now live in a world where someone will be speedrunning Radiohead albums. Now do the same for Time by ELO.
Racing Lagoon?
Okay, technically a 1999 release, but it only became available in English this year and woof, not 1 minute went by where I wasn't saying, "Would you just look at this game?" Congratulations and thanks to Hilltop Works for putting this patch together. Stellar work.
December.
My clairvoyance only goes so far, so instead of guessing what happens in December, here's some non-2021 things that I got around to this year.
Star Wars Squadrons.
My interest in Star Wars media has never been lower. I don't think I even know anyone who has watched any of the dozen currently running shows or that are coming or that are already done. I don't even know. It all feels so ethereal now. Rise of Skywalker really did set us all free, didn't it? Anyway, I still liked the idea of a VR space battle, so I got this and I did a barrel roll in a TIE fighter after eating a cheap supermarket wrap, and honestly, I felt so sick that I never went back.
Super Robot Wars the 5th. 5V. Super Robot Wars 5.
I'm finally playing a Super Robot Wars game. Well, you know, I say playing. I do love the attack animations, but whew, you really gotta love those attack animations, don't you?
Hunt Showdown.
Successfully captures the feeling of chasing a giant spider around a barn with your friends while trying not to be shot by cowboys. You know? In this year's book corner, we've got Ask Iwata. He seemed nice. The Fellowship of the Ring. Tom Bombadil is good, and that's the Tom Bomba Hill I'm prepared to die on. Piranesi. I really liked this book, Brave New World. I really read this book, My Alcoholic Escape from Reality. This was great, but I really didn't understand why anyone would want to escape reality when reality is so good. So good. You know those +1 TV channels that are just duplicates of other TV channels but an hour behind? That's how 2021 felt to me. A full year of looking around and going, didn't we just have this? When the director of reality yelled cut at the end of 2020, they gathered us around and said, okay everyone, let's take it from the top. But this time, I want you to care less. And we rose to the occasion. I mean, Christ, they really expected people to still give a shit about Tiger King. Good God, just let people enjoy their malaise. Last year, I warned that things could get worse. I don't think it did, but I also really didn't think I'd end up having to repeat myself a full 12 months later. But this look back has galvanized me. I actively want 2022 to be different and to be better. I'm gonna try my best. That's all anyone can do. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Was it a V or a 5?